you need to trim your beams to length, see our cutting materials video in this same playlist. This video is specifically for the traditional style beam to post attachment method, meaning you did not buy beam attachment brackets. The first thing we'll want to do is find our aluminum post stiffener on center measurements. This is done by taking a tape measure from the outside of one post stiffener to another, best done climbing up a ladder with a helper and taking the out-to-out measurement from the very top of those post stiffeners. Whatever that measurement is, we want you to subtract 5 inches from it. This is your post stiffener on center measurement. Go ahead and write that number down. In my case, I'll pretend like it was 125 inches out to out from my stiffeners, so the number I would write down would be 120 inches as my post on centers. We then measure and mark the very center of our beam with a dull pencil. We can divide our post on center measurements, which I determined to be 120 inches in my example. We can divide that number in half and make marks on the beam. So I would take 60 inches in each direction from the middle of my beam, and I would know that that's going to be where the center of my post stiffener is going to end up. I'd make a small mark on the end of each of my beams, knowing where that post stiffener is going to end up, and then lay my provided 4-hole template down right over the center of that mark. Using a 5/8 inch drill bit, drill each location just enough to go through the vinyl and just tap the aluminum beam on the inside. The vinyl should be completely cut out and the aluminum on the inside should have just a little dot where my drill tapped it, leaving a mark. Once all 8 holes are cut out of the vinyl and the aluminum is marked, you can go ahead and remove the aluminum profile from the vinyl sleeve. Applying a small amount of WD-40 on all 8 aluminum marks, you can now use a vari-bit to drill out each location. There's no specific size that these vari-bit holes need to be. They're going to be covered up later. Just use some muscle and make sure that it's bigger than 5/8. Once this is done, you can clean off any vinyl or aluminum shavings left over and wipe off any extra WD-40 before sliding your aluminum tube back inside your vinyl 2x8 sleeve. Don't forget to ensure your aluminum profile is inset about 3/4 of an inch on both ends. So, given the sloped nature of your pergola roof, one beam is going to sit slightly higher than the other, and you're going to want to install the higher of your 2 beams right here. If your pergola is attached, there's only going to be one higher beam you need to worry about, and if your pergola is freestanding, you'll want to install the higher beam on each set of posts. Before using your beam to post fasteners, ensure that the top of your 2x8 beams aligns with the top of your vinyl post sleeve, and ensure that the center of your post aligns with the center of your 4-hole pattern that you made. And lastly, ensure that the internal aluminum sleeve hasn't shifted and it's correctly inset about 3/4 of an inch on both ends of your beam. If all 3 items are good to go here, it's time for some muscle and get those self-tapping fasteners right through each hole. You're all set and you're ready to move on to your structural rafter after you pop in some 5/8 inch plugs on those holes you made. And as a final note before we move on, do not install any of your lower beams yet.